I think probably if I had to describe what I do, it's like filming rebels, filming pioneers, filming what you were just talking about, filming influencers really. People who take risks and try and change things and stand against their own culture and their own, everything that's expected of them. And in a way, that's why I think Letizia is kind of like my perfect person to film, because she's such a bad girl, you know. In a way, she's done everything that she wasn't supposed to do. And even she says things in the film that make me feel so impressed with her and sort of so in awe of her, really, because they're very brave things. Well, it's Neve Fagan, who's the producer. She went on holiday to Sicily, and she went to an exhibition in Corleone and saw Letizia's photographs and then contacted me. And I'm really grateful to Neve now. I wasn't, in the middle of the first year, I wasn't, because it was such a difficult film to make. I think the things that Ollie and I really struggled with were how to create her life, because there was so much we wanted to say. There's so little, she had so little archive. So we decided, and that was the kind of breakthrough, decided to use fiction. That it was really down to Neve. Neve contacted me after Letizia had said yes, and I think it took about over a year, because she told Letizia it was going to be a full-length film, and she's very used to doing little. I think the main reason really, and Letizia says it in the film, it's archive of pain. I don't want to go back there anymore. She's trying to sort of reinvent herself, and I think going back there is really painful. And there was times when she'd tell me off, you know, I'd be filming her and she'd say, why are you asking me this? You know, why are you making me go back there? When she saw the film, I thought she'd make a fuss about that, and she didn't at all. You know, she didn't make a fuss about any of it. She said, Kim, you've embarrassed me, but I like the film, but I'm so embarrassed. You know, this is when we were in the editing it, because when we were filming, I didn't speak Italian very well. I could understand bits. But for example, when she says, when I'm taking photos of people who are bereaved or who are going through trauma, which most of her photos are, I want to tell them that I love them, but I can't. And you can sort of imagine a woman's crying and being held back, and you go up and you take a photo, and it's exactly the things, and it's kind of easier for me because it's film, but there's scenes I've filmed with people that I really love, that I'm making a film with, even though I've known them for maybe 6 weeks. There were so many things I identified with that Letizia said. Also, putting your work first, which you have to do. You know, when I'm making a film, it comes first before everything. The films where I go away to film, and I think, I don't know, I'm sure men feel guilty as well, but not in the same way. I know you're saying no, they probably don't. I think there was like loads of strands in this film, and that's why it was so difficult to edit, because we definitely wanted the women, a story of a Sicilian woman, which is a very specific thing, but it's relevant for all of us, all women, but that there are these expectations of what you will do, and to leave your family is the biggest taboo. To reinvent yourself so much. She'd never taken photo before, and she got a camera, and she said the photos at the beginning were terrible, and she kept with it and became, I think, I've seen so many mafia, I think they're the most brilliant mafia photos because they have the heart in them. The more I learnt about the mafia, the more I went into the history of the mafia and what they did, and this idea that we've been all told, we've all seen Godfather and all those Coppola films, and we've been told that they're these sort of Al Pacino-like men in suits, and that they shoot each other on the whole, even though Sopranos kind of did tend to adjust that a bit, but it's still, you don't really think about the victims that much. You don't think about the kids on their way to school, passing corpses in the street and how they have to be put in coffins. You don't think about the fact they murdered children a lot of, and they did horrible murders of children. Why I think Letizia's stand against the mafia with love is so important, because they represent hate. They represent hating everybody except them, and women are nothing. And Letizia represents love, and women are just as good as men.